I'm back on the South Island and ready for more adventure tours. This trip, I'm riding through mountain trails on quad bikes, flying across the water in a jet boat, taking on wild off-roading, smashing clay targets, tackling epic four-wheel drive tracks and soaring high paragliding. These are unreal New Zealand experiences you don't want to miss. The first tour I'll be doing is quad biking in the mountains. The Cardrona sits just outside the stunning lakeside town of Wanaka, offering unforgettable horse rides and quad bike adventures, showcasing amazing farm and mountain views. After checking in, it didn't take long before I geared up, jumped on a quad and was ready to hit the trails for an epic ride. Our guide Hannah took us through the safety briefing, and once we were all confident and ready, we set off across the farmland. As we cruised through the paddocks and gates, our first stop was at an old historic farm site, complete with rustic buildings and vintage machinery. From there, we continued on our quads across open farmland, eventually stumbling across the newest residents on the property, the baby calves, all staring at us as we rode by. Once we made our way through all the paddocks, it was finally time for the fun part, heading up into the mountains. The higher we went, the alpine views became more and more impressive. Our next stop was a lookout, and the views here were unreal. Snow-capped mountains, ski fields, an Olympic training ski jump, and the whole Cardrona Valley right below us. The temperature started to drop the closer we got to the top, even catching a light dusting of snow. We reached our third stop at the highest lookout, then started the ride back down, which involved going along the mountain road.
We're going to be on the road for just a little bit. We're going to turn the lights on. Just stay on the left-hand side of the road, just follow the road rules, obviously. Because there is traffic on this road.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. As we travelled down the road, we headed back onto the farm's quad tracks, which was just as much fun as the climb up. So cool. group and I made it back after such an awesome ride. The weather absolutely turned it on for a chilly spring day. What an epic experience. I don't think you're going to get a better quad bike tour with views as good as that. So for my next adventure tour, I'm just outside of Arrowtown in Queenstown, and unfortunately the weather today is really bad. It's probably the worst day I've had so far on my trip, but thankfully that's not going to stop me from doing what I'm going to do with Oxbow. Oxbow Adventure Co is the place to go when you want your heart pumping and your adrenaline at its peak. They offer 3 awesome experiences you have to try, from smashing clay targets, to ripping around a jet boat track at crazy speeds, to sending it in off-road buggies. I was keen to give all 3 a go. Oh man, look at that. Wow. After checking out what I was in for, I headed to my first taste of action. Alright, so I'm going out to do some clay shooting with Skinny. I've never done this before, so this will be exciting and also could be a bit embarrassing.
Not at all, mate.
Not at all? Okay.
We'll get you hoodie and stuff, don't worry.
We headed inside to escape the rain and get into some shooting. First up, Skinny gave us the rundown on the guns and the safety side of things.
The guns are actually perfect. They're very good.
Skinny knew his stuff when it came to guns. He'd been doing this for decades. Then it was my turn. I loaded the shotgun and lined up for my first clay targets.
Shoulders forward, running position, looking at number 3. Pull your gun up. Bang.
Wow.
Bang! Yeah!
Whoa!
Yeah! Shoot! Front, hit him. Bang.
Whoa!
Left good, just follow him. And bang. 2 out of 2, mate.
It was an epic way to start the day at Oxbow, and Skinny was a total legend. Next up, it was time to hop into one of New Zealand's fastest watercrafts, the Jet Sprint Boat. I got the gear on and hopped into the front seat. Alright, I'm all strapped up, ready to go. Ethan talked us through what to expect in the jet boat, and before we knew it, we were ready to launch. The speeds were absolutely insane. The acceleration was instant and the turns were razor sharp.
How fast will we go?
Well, when you're hitting the first corner, you're getting up to like 105, 110.
105, holy
Yeah.
wow.
We went for 2 more runs, each one hitting over 100 kilometers per hour. It was unreal. With no time to spare, it was straight on to my 3rd and final Oxbow adventure, the ultimate off-roader. The rain didn't let up, turning it into the muddiest ride of my life. I got strapped in and met our driver Tim, who was covered in mud from all the rides he'd been doing today.
Welcome to my office, sorry about the mess.
The acceleration was just as crazy as the jet boat, and every turn sent mud flying in every direction. It's not usually this muddy, but this is what happens when it rains all day. sure how my GoPro captured all of this, because the more we rode, the less I could see.
Welcome to the deck, boys. I'm fine.
And that wrapped up my Oxbow mission. 3 epic adventures covered in mud, adrenaline pumping, and a huge smile that didn't leave my face. Unreal experience. Well, that was the dirtiest experience I've ever had, but totally worth it. Alright, I'm in Queenstown now, and the weather's improved a bit, and I'm off to do another tour now. This time, I'm going to go see some of the sights of the greatest trilogy ever made. Nomad Safaris is the ultimate 4-wheel drive tour for off-road lovers and Lord of the Rings fans who want to see where Middle-earth was filmed. I hopped on board in search of these amazing filming locations. Our guide Justin didn't just take us to the filming spots, he also showed us some incredible views along the way. On the drive up to Coronet Peak, we took a turn and followed the infamous Skipper's Road. This place is famously known as one of the most dangerous and narrow roads not just in New Zealand, but the world. Justin has driven this road more times than he can count, but trust me, it's not for the faint-hearted. The drop-offs are so close to the 4-wheel drive, it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that this road actually exists. After Skipper's Road, we checked out Skipper's Road Lookout, another amazing view of Queenstown below. How's that for a view? Next we headed to Arrowtown and followed the iconic Arrow River, the same river miners once searched for gold.
Now when we go into this little stream, there's a drop in it, so don't be concerned.
We had a go at Penny for Gold and found out that this was another Lord of the Rings filming spot.
Remember the scene at this called the Fort of Brunnen?
Oh yeah.
This is the shot over river, and there's Arwen on the horse, and she says, if you want him, come and claim him.
Then it was on to Arrowtown itself, a historic mining village where you genuinely feel like you've stepped back in time. Justin took us to the gold shop where we checked out some seriously impressive gold nuggets that have been found right here in the region. Next stop, another Lord of the Rings location where we channeled our inner golem and recreated that famous scene. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. There's my acting career for you. Our final stop took us past the original New Zealand bungee site, the famous Cardrona Bridge, before reaching our last Lord of the Rings filming location. This is the spot where the Fellowship sails between the 2 giant statues known as the Argonath, the Pillars of the Kings. And with that, we made our way back to Queenstown. This was a day spent with epic scenery, crazy roads, and some legendary Lord of the Rings locations. Nomad Safaris absolutely delivered. Well, that was fun, and I even got dropped off back at my accommodation. How good. So for my last adventure tour, I'm in Queenstown again, and I'll be hopefully doing some paragliding. Now, I've had this one postponed twice already due to weather, and even today's not looking great. They said we're going to try and get some in this morning, so we'll find out if I'm actually even going to do it. First off, I've got to head to the gondola. Just like the luge ride and zip line, G-Force Paragliding sits right at the top of Queenstown's Skyline gondola, so I jumped in line and headed to the top. Once there, I checked in with G-Force and walked up to their pickup point. Then I hopped into the G-Force buggy that took me even higher up the hill to the paragliding launch area. The weather up top was still pretty cloudy, but at least the wind was calm. That said, conditions were expected to shift later in the day. I was hanging on to hope that the change wouldn't hit right when it was my turn to fly. As I watched other people launch off the mountain, I waited to hear whether I would be taking off too. I'm just waiting to see when I'm going flying, because it's happening at least. All kitted up, ready to go. My tandem pilot Brendan secured me in and walked me through the plan.
We're going to have a strong, fast walk. We're going to, once the glider's above us, then we'll progress from that walk into a jog.
Okay.
Off we go, running down the hill. Just keep running. Whoa! Nice one. Now you can lean back, lift your knees up, and then get nice and comfortable. Woohoo!
At 900 meters above sea level, these 360-degree views were incredible, and being higher than the gondola itself made it even more amazing. Pretty good way down my trip.
Yeah.
In the second half of the flight, Brendan turned things up a notch with some wingovers, pulling off some epic G-forces as we twisted and turned through the air.
Oh. Yeah. Whoa. Holy crap. Ah. More. Here we go.
Nice. Yeah, that was awesome. To finish off, we landed on the local school oval. Yep. Oh, almost. How do you rate that landing? And just like that, my time on the South Island had come to an end. Another unreal trip with incredible experiences thanks to the Cardrona, Oxbow, Nomad Safaris and G-Force. Links to these epic adventures are in the description, and if you haven't already, check out my first epic New Zealand adventure tour video for even more moments from last year. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next adventure.